thank you very much for coming to my talk, and thank you very much to the organisers of EAMS 2020 for allowing me to speak on some stuff that we've been working on. So this is work together with my colleague Colin Macdonald. We're both at Department of Mathematics at UBC. I'm going to talk to you about what we call paperless open marking, or Plom, and you can find more information about our system at plomgrading.org and our repository at the link there. So what is Plom? Well, let me give you the elevator pitch. It's kind of a tall building, but we'll get there. So let me start off by setting the scene. So a little while ago, I had to give a single midterm test in one of our very big first year calculus classes, which involved 1,250 students in 8 different time slots, so from Thursday morning through to Friday afternoon. All of those classrooms were very crowded, and we ended up giving 6 versions of this test, and we worked out that this was about 8,000 sheets of paper that we had to wrangle in order to get the whole process done. And needless to say, this was a very big project, and it ended up taking about 4 weeks from starting to plan the midterm through to returning the midterm to those students. And it became very clear that we need tools that are going to help us simplify the logistics of this whole process, not just to make the marking quicker, because we don't just want to write 2 out of 5 and go through. We want to give better feedback to the students, and at the same time we really want to be able to conserve instructor time, energy and sanity. And if you think about this sounds sort of like an impossible ask to get a tool that's going to do all these things without costing a lot of money. And so we started building something ourselves, and that we call Plom, paperless open marking. And we try to make it completely free software. So in this way, Plom is Libre, in the sense free in Libre, namely it's open source and built completely from free open source software components. So everything is pip or app or deb package installable. It's completely free in the sense that you don't have to pay any money. There are no fees or anything like that. Everything is AGPL3. You can download it yourself and run it yourself. And all of your data is secure. All the information stays on the server of your choice. You can download and install it wherever you want. So what does it do? Well, Plom allows you to write tests on paper. So students write on bits of paper like these, with pencil, pen, whatever. And this is a very typical, very short test out of Plom. You can see there's an ID page, it's the very first page there. Question 1 is a single page, and then question 2 are the 2 pages there. Now, if you look very carefully, however, you'll notice that the page 2 there is actually version B of that question, and question 2 is version A of that question. So what Plom is doing is it's interleaving the different questions in the test to help reduce the number of versions you have to make overall. So in particular, if you had 3 variants of a 4-question test, then Plom would actually create for you 3 to the 4, namely 81 different versions by picking one of those question 1s, one of those question 2s, one of those question 3s, and so forth, to make a test for each student. Okay, so it helps reduce the number of versions you need, and hopefully also reduce the leakage that might occur across giving a test across different time slots. Then you have to scan everything in, but that's the last time you have to handle the paper. Once everything's scanned into the computer, the marker can use a client like this, and a student who's working with us, Victoria Schuster, is going to give a little video demonstration of it shortly. They can mark on this client. And this client's been very heavily optimized to make leaving feedback very quick and to make going through these papers quite quick. So in particular, a marker is only assigned to a single question or a single version of a single question, and it's blind marking. While they can look at different pages of the test, they're going to focus on the pages that correspond to the question, and they can never see ID pages. They can't tell whose test they're actually grading. And Victoria will give a good demonstration of this client near the end of the video and a bit more explanation of what it can do. Then once all the marking is done, Plom will automatically generate a web page for you that you can upload to a web server where students can collect their tests. And so again, the data doesn't go off to any third party, it's generated on your server and you upload it to your web server. And then in order for students to get their tests back, all they need to do is enter their student number and an exam code. So you'll have to upload that exam code to your LMS, but that's really the only LMS interaction you have to do. Student wants their test back, copy that from the LMS, paste it in here along with their student number, click, they get the PDF of their reassembled test. So at this point, what I want to do, I think at the end of my pitch as to what Plom can do, I wanted to say, please come and join us. We're in the process of building the system. We do have a functional prototype, which has already been used in about 20 courses to mark by about 60 faculty and markers to mark about 20,000 tests. We're in the process of building more documentation and more demonstrations of what it can do, how to use it. But what we're looking for now is really we want more people to come, test it out, use it, give us feedback, give us ideas, and join our community. Want to become a code developer? That would be fantastic. So we're really looking to try to build a community around this piece of software, which, as I'm sure some of you who have worked on big open source projects know, it's really an important part of this process. And so before I hand over to Victoria and then on to my colleague Colin, I'd like to thank some people, so namely a bunch of students, Elvis, Victoria, Vala, Dryden and Michael, who have made contributions to the code, been very, very helpful having them along. A bunch of faculty members who have reported bugs and given us ideas and given us feedback, really trying to make this product good. And I'd like to thank UBC Centre for Teaching, Learning and Technology, who have given us some funding, and the testers of the early prototypes. They gave us a lot of great feedback which helped make this possible. And now I'm going to hand over to Victoria, who's going to give a demonstration of the client, and then on to my colleague Colin, who will talk a little bit about installation. Thank you.
Plom is a free digital platform that allows for paperless grading of student work, while maintaining the security and privacy of classroom data. Simply enter your username and password and you can begin marking. This is our grading interface. We'll start by adding rubric elements, which consist of mark assignments and text or LaTeX to help us mark fairly and efficiently while providing useful feedback. Plom allows you to navigate our tool buttons using keyboard shortcuts, so you can keep one hand on your keyboard and one hand on the mouse at all times. This allows you to quickly change gears when you realize that student number 2 forgot to change their sign when differentiating a negative exponent. And perhaps the best part, while you're grading question 1, your TA can begin grading question 2, so you can work seamlessly and efficiently without having to exchange large stacks of paper. With Plom, you can zoom in and out as needed to help you evaluate hard-to-read writing so you can give accurate marks. Need to write a complex equation? Plom supports LaTeX in our annotations. And here you have yourself and your 2 TAs working seamlessly so you can return student feedback while it's still relevant. As you can see in the top left, Plom also supports image annotations in case an answer could be better explained using a graphic, or if you feel like adding a smiley face or good job sticker to your students' work. And there you have it. Your exam grading is complete, all thanks to Plom.
Okay, so you've seen the video and perhaps you'd like to try this software for yourself. So I'm going to talk briefly about how to install it. If you just want to try the Plom client like you saw in the video, then we can host a server for you. Just get in touch via email, and you will need to download the client itself, which should be available at plomgrading.org for Mac, Windows, and Linux. If, on the other hand, you want to dig in and get your hands dirty, then you can install the full software, including the server, on your own machine. So we support Linux. You'll need to download a bunch of dependencies, and then use pip to install Plom itself. Alternatively, you can use Docker. After the server is installed, it includes a built-in demo, so that's the easiest way to get started. You make a new directory, change into that directory, and run the Plom Demo command. So what this does is it prepares a bunch of blank exams and then simulates student input by scribbling randomly on those papers. It then uploads all that data to the server, and you're ready to go. So run the client either on the same machine by typing Plom client, or perhaps using a client that you've downloaded onto a different laptop. We're the Plom developers. Thanks very much for watching, and if you have any questions or you'd like to try this software, please get in touch at plomgrading.org. Thank you.